Attorney Lin Wood is being accused by the media, who referred to him in this headline as a pro-Trump lawyer, of calling for Republican candidates David Purdue and Kelly Loeffler to be arrested as Georgia's runoff Senate race heats up. Is this true? Has Lin Wood called for the arrest of the two Senate candidates in Georgia? Well, let me give you a hint. It's an election year, it's the media, and they're talking about Republicans. Is it true? No. No, it's not true. He didn't actually call for their arrest. And we're going to take a look at what Lin Wood actually did say in just a moment. There will be a link to this article in the description below of the video if you want to check it out. We're not going to go through it. There will also be a link to Lin Wood's tweet, which we're going to go through part of it. There's an infographic you may want to check out for yourself. Go ahead and click on those links in the description if you want to see the actual sources for this story. But first off, what is Georgia's runoff Senate race? Okay, in the general election on November 3rd, there were two senators running for election in Georgia, or two Senate seats up for grabs, meaning four senators, I guess, were running. And the Republicans and the Democrats, the vote was so close that under Georgia law, they have to have a runoff election where the top two candidates for each seat go and have a head-to-head runoff. So it eliminates any sort of independent or third-party candidates or anything like that who didn't get as much of the vote. So on January 5th, there will be this runoff election, and whoever wins that runoff election will go to the Senate in Georgia. Why is this important? This is important because as it stands right now, Republicans have 50 seats in the Senate and Democrats have 48 seats in the Senate. So if Democrats were to win both of these seats in Georgia, Republicans, well, that would result in an effective tie, 50 seats to 50 seats. And there's some nuance to this because there's two independents, but those two independents always vote with the Democrats. So they're very independent. Bernie Sanders, super independent, always votes Democrat. Anyway, it'd be a 50-50 split in the Senate. And when there's a 50-50 split, when there's a tie on a vote, the vote then goes to Kamala Harris as vice president, assuming, of course, Trump and Pence are out of the White House. Okay, so the vice president casts the vote, which means that if the Republicans lose both of these races in the runoff, then there will be a 50-50 tie and Republicans will effectively lose control of the Senate. That would mean that the Democrats would control the House, the Senate, and the presidency, and in many people would say, and the Supreme Court, right? So they would have total control of the auspices of government, and that has very, very big implications. Whenever one party has full control, they get to implement their party platform without really any opposition and with very little in the way of compromise, okay? So that's what's at stake. That's why it's important, and that's what's going on here. Now, let's go to what Lin Wood said, and you guys can judge for yourself the wisdom of his actions and his plan. Full disclosure, I personally don't think Lin Wood's plan is the best idea. That's my opinion. I'm not here to tell you how to think, though. That's why I've included the sources in the description, and you can go check them out. What I would love, absolutely love, is for you guys to drop comments below and tell me why you think Lin Wood's plan is great, or why Lin Wood is terrible, or what you think on the issue. I love to get your guys' thoughts, so hit me up on that if you would. But Lin Wood's tweet says, quote, "I have received much criticism for demanding that Georgia fix the November 3rd fraud before we vote in January 5th runoff. In full disclosure, I am not a fan of any of the four candidates in the Senate runoff, communists or China compromised in my opinion. I just want an honest election, don't you?" Now, I don't have any problem with what Lin Wood says here. I don't know anything about the Senate candidates. I'm not from Georgia. I don't really care about them individually, okay? I do want an honest election, and there are lots and lots of questions about the 2020 election that remain unanswered to this day, and frankly will probably be unanswered forever, because a lot of people don't want us to have answers to these questions. But he then has the infographic, and this is where they're getting their headline, right? Now, this infographic is about the Dominion algorithm that they have been talking about. They being Lin Wood and Sidney Powell, the two attorneys who are independently advocating on behalf of the Trump campaign, but not officially affiliated with the Trump campaign at this point. And their plan, and again, you can go read all this, but their plan is to boycott the election, the Senate runoff in Georgia. And the idea behind that boycott is that if enough Republicans don't vote, that the algorithm will be set up to steal the election from the Democrats, and therefore they will take Republican votes away from Republicans and put them for the Democrats. And if enough Republicans don't vote, there will actually be, at the end of the day, negative Republican votes in some heavily Democrat counties, like Fulton County, where Atlanta is, for example. This would be the idea. And that once they do that, it will reveal the steal, okay? That would be the idea. And in conclusion, Lin Wood says the fraud will be so obvious that the Supreme Court can then invalidate the presidential election. Real conservative senators can then be appointed after Kemp, Purdue, and Loeffler's arrest. So that is what he's actually saying. He's not calling for their arrest. He's saying that if this plan were to work out, then the fraud would be so obvious that no one would have any choice. They would have to arrest everybody involved with the fraud. Now, I'm not sure how he thinks that Loeffler and Purdue are involved in the fraud. Brian Kemp is the Secretary of State. No, he's the governor of Georgia. Sorry. Raffensperger is the Secretary of State, who has been a thorn in Lin Wood's side. But I'm not sure how he's alleging that Purdue and Loeffler would be part of this scheme, but that is his allegation. So, again, drop a comment below. Tell me what you think. If you like hearing about this kind of news, please hit like, hit subscribe, hit the little bell and get notified, and then share this to other people and get their opinions as well. And I hope you guys enjoyed this. Have a good day. Peace. Peace.